I am a testament to those kinds of blessings because I'm doing something that seems impossible. So today we're going to touch a little bit of that aspect of the possibility. So I'd like you to take, if you have your notepads, for those of you, because I know that in the communication today, you want something that's going to be able to be clear so that you can almost problem solve a behavior, one behavior that your dog or cat is doing, and you would like to have that change. So write down one problem that you have with your dog. Just a very short little sentence or one word: going outside, peeing outside. Okay. And then just raise your hand when you've written that down. Okay. Now, the next one I want you to write is just a brief little thing about what do you say to that animal when they're doing that behavior? Keep it short. Nobody's going to see this. I'm not going to ask you to read it either. And now I want you to just make a little notation. What are you doing to change that behavior of that animal? What is the action you're taking to help them change the behavior? Keep it simple. Got it? Just raise your hand up when you do. Okay, great. Looks like most people have. All righty. Okay, then just set that aside. And I want to talk about how, when we came in as babies, how we're already wired to be connected to the animals, that there is a natural loving aspect that connects us automatically. And it starts with this unique aspect of our parents. As we're infants, they use stuffed little toys to make us laugh or a smile. So our first impression of even a wheel over our crib or a bassinet has little animals in it. And then as you get a little bit bigger, you have a stuffed toy that you learn how to cuddle. You get nurturing from it when your parents aren't around. And then it does a absolutely unique aspect. And that is we start learning how to nurture our own internal ethics. In order to be an animal communicator, you do not need to be spiritually oriented. You have an internal ethics that's aligned with your soul already. And that internal ethics needs to be evolved. Like, belonging to a church will help that. Um, Being kind, learning in school, how that aspect is nurtured and watered. I happen to be very spiritually oriented because when I was adopted, um, I was 6 years old when I was adopted, and I wasn't raised by my parents. And I didn't know anything about my father. And I was told by a minister when I was 8 that God was my father. Now, he was coming out of the church shaking everybody's hand. And as he took my hand, he leaned over and he asked me, "Do you not know who your father is?" Well, I'm thinking physically. And I tell him honestly, no, I don't. He tells me, "Well, God's your father." And he says it's very soft. And I'm thinking in my head, no wonder they're keeping this a secret. Now I'm 8 years old and I was given a little New Testament. And so I took my New Testament, that little book that I thought was about my family, and I couldn't read or spell or remember information most of my life. And so I take my little Bible and my dog, my drawing stuff. I climb up the back of the roof of the garage, pull the ladder up, and I have these long conversations with my father, believing he is my father. Most people don't have that gift. So what I did over the years was go inside, because going outside to an adult was painful. My dog Ginger always knew what kind of state I was in. She was always happy to see me. I could cry into her chest. She helped evolve my internal ethics and my love of the animal kingdom. That was a gift. So each of us, as we look at that internal ethics that we have, and how do we water that to make it grow, to expand, so that we're not only loving towards animals, we're loving towards one another, because that's where we have to go. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about, since we have this clarity on our internal ethics is the most important aspect. If you're loving, kind, compassionate, all of those opens that door for communication.